Hey guys, Ninja Gaming here, I'm Kyle.
And I'm Ed.
And today we are reviewing Rayman Legends.
Yes, this game will be available in North America on September 3rd. It's going to be for Xbox 360, PS3, Vita, Wii U, and PC. So without further ado, let's take it away with the story with Kyle.
In Rayman Legends, Rayman and the gang are back together again to save the Teenies. And this time you find a mysterious tent, and you're teleported to multiple different worlds, and you have to save all the Teenies, and that's pretty much it for the story, guys. There's not a big story to this game, so we're going to take it right to Ed with the gameplay.
Now for the gameplay for Rayman Legends, you and the gang actually go ahead and try to find the Teenies. Of course, some Teenies are just going to be all rounded about, all in cages that are being tortured by the random nightmares you see in the game. Now also, there is secret levels there is secret parts of the level that you go in that actually are like little mini games to find more Teenies. Now and there's 2 in every single one of these missions, and there is a lot of missions. There is so many different missions that you're going to be playing this on for hours. The one thing you could also do in this game is you can also bring in some of your friends. So these friends you could play and constantly go in. The whole entire story is actually all with your friends. So this is a complete and total party game. Mixed with a whole bunch of 3D boss battles, new challenges that they come out with every day, and pretty much collectibles that you collect and everything. This game is a really good game to play with a whole bunch of friends. So without further ado, let's go to pros and cons with Kyle.
Thanks, Ed, for the gameplay. Now on to the pros and cons. Ed, you want to take us away?
Yeah, sure. The one thing, the huge con that we actually want to start off with is that the story in this game was kind of lacking. That's the one thing that we thought was huge, is that really it's similar to other Rayman games, don't get us wrong, but you find yourself wondering, why am I doing this? There really isn't much to explain why you're doing this besides go and save Teenies and save your home world.
Right.
That's pretty much the single player in a nutshell.
Right. As I described in the story earlier, it's not a very big story.
Yeah, exactly. What other cons are there, Kyle?
Some of the other cons are it's kind of repetitive. Now, the repetitive is because there's no really set goal. Each level, you're trying to get the Teenies and you're trying to get to the end. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
It's basic platformer, but it just sort of feels like it gets repetitive over time. And, after a while you're like, I guess I'll just play the next level. Because you're just trying to unlock stuff. And it just seems a little bit repetitive. Yeah. But other than that, another con is the level select screen seems kind of scattered. Mm-hmm. Going in paintings to find to get to your levels and going to different zones, I would call it, would be like the world for each world. So you would go to each world for your levels, and it just all seems unorganized. What's the next world and what's the next level? So it's kind of hard to follow. It's a little bit scattered.
The one thing we actually found out during all this, and especially on the Wii U one, is that you get little notifications on your Wii pad that says a new level is unlocked, and this is 5 worlds down, and you're like, so you would hit on it just to get the notification away, then it would transport you all the way there, and you're like, I don't want to do this yet. You have to go all the way back, find what mission you were on, and so it just got a little bit scattered at points.
Right. So that's it for the cons. Do you want to take us into some of the pros here?
So some of the pros, of course, this game is Rayman, and the new generation of Rayman has fantastic graphics and art. Right. This game has amazing things. It's something that you could just look at, and it's just amazing 3D art. Another thing that's really good about this is, of course, the music. And the music in some levels actually, some beats to the music actually goes with the levels.
Right. They made the levels so that it flows with them.
Yeah. So that's something that's really, really cool about the one of the pros of this game and everything. It's really cool, and I love playing those missions, mind you.
Right. So other than that, it's really fun to play with friends is another pro. Like I said before, it kind of gets repetitive, but it's really fun to play with friends. It also requires a lot of cooperation, so that can kind of get frustrating at times.
Like normal platformers, how it's like, if you're running off the screen and your friends you're leaving them behind, they're going to die eventually. So you're going to need to, especially with the Wii U, you're using one of the characters to swipe ropes and cut different things, different traps out of your friends' ways. So you're going to need some cooperative.
Right, and again, with that, like, one friend might not care about like saving any teenies or anything like that. He could just be trying to get to the end. Whereas one person's like, oh, I just found a secret, and he tries to go over there to save the teenies, but the other guy's just running past through the level. So you end up dying and not saving them.
That's the one thing.
So that's how it kind of gets frustrating with friends.
A little bit.
But other than that, there's another pro is unlockables and variations of characters.
Oh, yeah.
The variations of characters, there's about 5 different characters.
5 to 6, so.
There's a couple different characters, and they each have different variations, like just different costumes, different outfits and stuff, and that's just pretty cool that there's tons of unlockable characters.
Yeah, exactly. And also, you know, talk about the unlockables and everything. You also get, at some points, if you get enough money in the game, you actually can get lucky cards.
Yeah.
That actually give you different missions and also like things that are called creatures. And the cool thing about creatures is they actually give you money over time. So that's one of the cool things about the collectibles and everything. That makes you want to collect more of these things.
Right.
Also the amount of levels in this game. This game is very long, and the amount of levels that I actually find, if you actually know how to organize through all of them, it's a very long game, and also the variations. There's ones that are in the swamp. There are some that are in like the lava mountains and everything. So and it's just really cool to see that.
Right. So although it gets repetitive, I mean, some levels are swimming, some levels are run and jump, and some differ from the regular platform. They go, like we said before, they go to the beat of the music, and if you don't follow the beat of the music, you're just gonna die.
Yeah, if you get off beat, you're not gonna be going anywhere.
Right.
Another thing is there is challenges also in this game. As I mentioned before, there is daily challenges that you can go and actually play.
Right.
That Ubisoft actually releases this to you, and it's really cool that you can get a whole bunch of friends together and play these certain type of missions and certain types of challenges and everything.
Yeah, so the challenges kind of add to, they kind of make it not as repetitive as before because they give you a goal, but it's still kind of repetitive of a game.
Yeah, and one more pro before we go is actually the 3D boss battles are actually really fun to play with and really cool. Sometimes they can be frustrating, but once you figure out it is amazing, it is a really good just reward and everything. So any other cons or pros that we have of this?
That's pretty much everything. We pretty much covered everything here. So, Ed, what would you give this game?
I would give this game an 8.7. The one thing that I think is that's so bad is just like the story and how repetitive and the story kind of adds to that. Is that if you really don't have a point besides just saving teenies,
right?
So I give this an 8.7.
Yeah, I'd actually give it an 8.5, and that's because the single player is lacking quite a bit, so you have to kind of play it with friends, and if you have too many friends, like I said before, it gets repetitive. Some friends can get boring to play with because they just want to run through the level, and the level play style is just kind of repetitive over time, and I found myself getting kind of bored of it at times.
Yeah.
And with the level select just kind of being scattered, that really brings it down, because I kind of like to play the game in order. This level's next.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
I have to go do this next, and like other games, what you have to do next, and what level comes next, and what world you have to go to.
But of course, this game is one of those games that if you want to sit down and just not think for a little bit, this is the game. This is the game for you. If you want to just sit down and not think whatsoever, and don't have an elaborate story going on, this is the game for you. It really is a good game and everything.
Yeah.
But just the few things of story and repetitiveness and the scatterness of the levels and everything really brings it down.
And like we said with the pros, the graphics, music, everything else in it's great.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a fantastic game. It's fun to play and stuff. I got it 8.5. Ed's got an 8.7, and that's pretty much it, guys.
Yeah. So as always, guys, subscribe down there. We really appreciate it. If you already subscribed, we love you guys. You are awesome. Like and put down any comments and everything if you like the video, if you want us to put another different type of game or anything else like that. And also special thanks to Ubisoft for sending us this game and everything else like that. So as always, guys, we'll see you later.